Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Tech Pulse. And today we have with ourselves Mr. Aditya Babbar. He is the VP and India Business Head for the MX business for Samsung. Now we are here at the launch of Samsung Galaxy Z Fold devices. We have three devices here: Z Fold 8, Z Fold 8 Ultra, and of course the Z Flip 8. And thank you so much, Aditya, for talking to us. It means a lot.
Yep.
Three devices. Which one is your favorite and why?
Well, I think me being a long-term foldable user, I love the Ultra experience because it just bridges the gap today. How the foldable have come up with a mainstream feature, whether it is about the brightest screen on a foldable with 3000 plus nits, or it is about the ultra performance with the Snapdragon fastest chip on foldable, the 5000 mAh or a 2200 MP camera. Now that's just a great enable to a productivity first consumer like me, that how these head devices helps me to really being up to date and blends into my fast paced life.
Okay. Now, as I mentioned that now there are three foldables in the lineup, and all three have their own strengths, especially with the new Z Fold 8. It's a new form factor by Samsung, 4:3 ratio, very content-centric device. At the same time, the original Z Fold sort of a design is something which has a cult following. How do you make sure that all three do not cannibalize into each other's markets and perhaps each other's consumers?
Yeah. Powers are in the hand of consumers, and we want to go back and give that power to them. Now, when we see a consumer behavior, you will agree to me that there are three kind of consumer sets which are out there. One is a very, very productivity first consumers and a creation first who wants, everything in a device, and device becomes a mean of their expression. Second is a set of a consumer which is very consumption first consumer. They don't create content, but they are the biggest consumers of the created content. And the third is a segment which is about self-expressive. They want to express themselves in a very, very different ways. And that's how we have crafted these devices. Fold 8 Ultra focuses on the ultra sets of the consumer, which blends very beautifully into your life, helping you for a creation, productivity, or staying with you up to date with a full day 5000 mAh battery. The consumption ratio which is coming with the new device is a beautiful testimony that how our behaviors have changed from a reel to a long format video, but our devices have not. Now that's where then this new device bridges that gap into your reading aspect, into your OTT aspect, into your reel consumption aspect. It just blends well in your life. The Flip continue to be a very, very different device with their capability to express, which no other phone can with the Flex Cam. Now this is again, solving a very big friction for a young-minded consumer when they want to shoot, at a high. Today the phones are not capable. With the Flex Cam, that's enabled them. So we feel that it's an opportunity for every consumers, and that's how we have given that choice to the consumer. We don't believe in giving one form factor to the consumer and just stopping it there. We want to give back the power to them, and that's how we have developed it.
There is also an M series business for you, an F series business for you, which again has a significant portion for you guys. How do you see balancing moving forward, all of this put together?
Yeah. Let me try to answer it at a belief which we run. We believe a term called meaningful innovation.
Okay.
And we feel the innovation should not only stop at the device level. It is about the GTM. That's also where you need to innovate. Today, when you see a premium expanding and increasing and driving the growth of the market is by a design what we as a category and the brands have been doing. First, if I talk about Fold 8 series, it's about the expansion. We have expanded the device to a larger number of outlets so that a consumer can buy in any town. And we were discussing that how tier 2, tier 3 are growing faster.
Yeah.
So we are not deciding that where the device should be. It's a consumer which decides where we should be available.
Yeah.
Second aspect to that is experience. How do we make the greatest camera, the best AI, and the ecosystem available at the shop floor? Now that requires a lot of investments. Now, how we have enabled our shop with their Wi-Fi, how do we give them the AI demos are the second aspect of experience. The third is about extraction. Now, how do I make it affordable for consumer? Today, when I stand at a shop floor, consumer talk about, I want so much EMI phone. They don't talk about, I want 20 to 30,000 range phone.
Okay.
So EMI buying is becoming a core driver and a GTM strategy for us. Second aspect to that is the care aspect. That, okay, I bought a very, very expensive phone. How do I stay carefree?
Yeah.
And that's where the long-term care programs have really, really helped. So we have really created our entire strategy onto these 3 E's, which I call expansion, experience, and extraction. And that is where the consumer choices and power lies. Now, just to answer you, that why do we see that how premium market is growing faster? Take an example of a mid-range phone. Normally, they will be at a 40,000-50,000 price point and will be available with, say, 9 to 12 months EMI. Now, if I divide that EMI, it will translate roughly into, say, 4,000 rupees. Fold 8 series will be available at 5,000 rupees.
Okay.
Now, that's the increment cost, and how we are making the 30-month EMI more available to the consumer is the core of what we do.
So basically now you have to not just look at the product, you have to look at the after sales, but also how those products are reaching to the consumers at the prices at which they can be affordable.
And that's where the meaningful innovation in affordability also lies. Today, we have choices for a consumer on a non-banking platform to buy, say, on a Bajaj, on a TVS, on a IDFC, on Samsung Finance Plus, on Chola, or say Poonawalla Finance. So, also giving that expansion to the consumer. When I talk about the care is not restricted in India. It is even in the host country. Example, today we are in London, and God forbid my phone is not working. I can walk into any service center and get a free cost service under Care Plus. Now, that's a one world program that we run. So that's how we have innovated at every consumer experience level and help them to make a right choice on the buying decision.
Absolutely. Now we of course come to GTM. You mentioned GTM as well. Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities is perhaps where now people are experimenting, so to say. How do you plan on taking these devices forward?
We don't decide that this should be a GTM channel. Consumer decides. Wherever the consumer is, we are available there. So these devices will be available at 10,000 plus retail points in online. You can shop it from samsungshop.com or pure players, anywhere you want to buy. So first, the device availability will play a very, very key role for us. Second is that we are launching a new form factor, but the love for the Ultra remains. Now, for us to make it available at retail and make consumer experience and the choice which we talk about is a second GTM pillar. That how do we ensure that we have the right availability of demo at retail? So we are doubling our investment there.
True.
Third is about the making our manpower ready for giving the best consumer experience. So there are a lot which we have done on training the consumer. Now, last but not the least remains the extremely important part, which is EMI. And we have carefully calculated, if you see a 50, 70, 100, 120 and 150 device, this device have almost the same EMI. I keep saying this. A lot of people ask me that, oh, the foldable have gone in price. I say they'll have gone lower in EMI.
In the offline and online split for these devices, at least for last year, just for our perspective, can you give us an idea, online versus offline, where was the most interest in it and where were the most amount of orders were done? Offline, I'm assuming?
Well, yeah, because I think that when the premiumization journey happens, the most important thing there is about how do we get the experience done, and experience are the core. So we are also creating newer experience that how do we make these things available to the consumers with home demos, with different buying platform. So again, it is not very specific to a channel, but it is how you solve the consumer journey.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time.
though. Always pleasure meeting. Thank you very much.